Hi everyone, welcome back to JC Journals. I'm Rita and today I'm going to show you how I use the fusible web adhesive material to fold in the edges of the fabric to my junk journal cover. In the last video, I showed you how to use the adhesive material to bond the outside of your journal cover only, and we use glue to fold in our fabric. If you haven't seen that video and you'd like to watch it, I will link it in the description below. The reason why I still use both methods is my closures. My closures determine which method I use. If I'm going to be using brads for my closures, then I like to use the glue method because that way the prongs for my brad will be under 4 layers of material and it's more secure. For this journal, I'm not going to use brads for my closures, so I'll be able to show you how I use the web adhesive material to fold in the fabric for my junk journal. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is cut a piece of this adhesive material to the size of our fabric. So I'll lay that down, flatten it out, and I'll grab my material and line it up to the edge. And I'm going to use pins to secure the corners so that it doesn't move around while I'm cutting. And if you have spots that are not flat, you just push on it like this with your hand and it flattens out. So remember, if you're going to be using the glue method to fold in the inside of the fabric, you need to cut this material to the size of your junk journal cover. If you're going to use it all around, then you cut to the size of your fabric. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting. And when you're cutting, get real close to the fabric. You don't want any of this material sticking out past your fabric because it'll get on your iron later when you're ironing it. So even if you cut into the fabric just a tiny bit, like it's happening here, it's okay because that means the adhesive material is flush with your fabric. And when you purchase this material, make sure that you get the double-sided web adhesive because it does come where it's only one side that it's adhesive. And also, if you purchase it at a fabric store, tell them to roll it for you. Don't let them fold it because when they fold it, it leaves those folds in and it just doesn't, it's harder to work with. So whenever I purchase it, I just ask them to please roll it instead of folding it. Let's get this side. And also another thing to keep in mind, don't do the cutting part on your ironing board. If you do, make sure that you get every piece of this material off your ironing board before you start ironing. I hope you can see there's a tiny bit sticking out here, so I'm just gonna go and chop that off because I don't want it to get on my iron. And these pieces here, I save them because if you have big pieces like this, you can lay them side by side and use it for another project. So none of this stuff ever goes to waste. Okay, I'll get the other side. I'm going to pull in my pin just a little bit because it's sticking out past the fabric and I need to cut there. Okay. And the last side. I'm going to pull this in a little bit also. Go ahead and finish that off. Okay, I'm going to inspect it. Everything looks good. Great. Now on to the next step. I'm going to get my ironing board ready and I'll be right back. I've gone ahead and placed a piece of parchment paper to protect my ironing board, and I used masking tape to keep my journal cover together. I'm going to flip it upside down and get my fabric. And place that on top. And I'm going to feel where the edges are to make sure that I have enough fabric on all sides of my journal. Okay, that's looking great. Now I'm going to get my iron and place it on top and just move around. And make sure that when you use your iron, you're not going all the way to the edge of the fabric, because there's adhesive material there, and if we do that, then it will get activated. So I'm making sure that the middle is glued down or bonded together, because once this bonds, it doesn't come off, so I don't have to worry about anything moving later. And then we'll go back and get all the edges. Okay, I'll make sure the middle is nice and bonded, and I can feel where my edge is, so you can use your finger to guide you. And just be careful that you don't burn your finger, please, because I have been known to do that once or twice, and it's not fun. Okay. Okay, so that's bonded together. I'm going to let it cool a little bit. And turn it over. I'm going to take the masking tape off because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to also take my pins out. Take this one and this one out. Okay. It's already bonded, as you can see, but you see that edge there because we didn't go all the way. But we'll fix that when we're finished folding all of this inwards. So what you need to remember is when you fold it in, you're going to grab it tight and make sure it's nice and snug. And when you place your iron, you're going to just iron the middle part. You're not going to go all the way to the corner of the book, because we need that fabric to not be glued to the cover so that we can get our perfect corners. Pull that in nice and tight. Make sure it's tight from top and bottom. And I'm going to come in with my iron only on the middle part, and I'm going to push forward as I do that. Okay. Let's work on this side first. Pull it, I'm pulling from the bottom. Pull that. It's all glued down anyway, but just to make sure, just in case there's a spot or two that's loose, I'm going to hold it down in the middle and push on either side. Okay. I'm going to grab my iron and push in. And I am applying a little bit of pressure with my iron. Keep that down. Okay. Let's get the top and the bottom. Fold this in. Get my iron. and push inwards. Okay, that's nice and glued. I keep using the word glue, bonded, because I guess for me to use that word, I would have to actually be using glue. And this material, I mean, it's like glue, but it's not called glue. So I guess I can use that word interchangeably. Hold that down and push. Okay. And when you're using your iron, you don't need the steam setting. You just use it on the heat setting. I'm going to lay that down, fold this in, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to cut the corners. It's okay, I'll leave them. I was planning on cutting the corners, but so I'm just going, I'll just lift this up so you can see. So I'm folding this down, and all this extra material, I'm folding it in underneath. So I'll do one side, make sure this is all nice and tight, and then do this other side. I'm pushing that in with my finger and pulling it down. You want to make sure everything is nice and tight because you don't want anything to start bulking up. And I'm going to use my iron to get the corner down. And get the sides here. Just push inwards and it will pull it. See? Perfect corner. I love it. I love this material. I'm so thankful I found it. So I went a little bit in too far with my iron in here, and as you can see, it's already been glued down. So I'm just going to pull it up a little bit so that I can work on my corner. You see how strong this material is? I already ripped the paper, but I'm not too worried about it because this is going to get covered with the inside panel, and the rest of it will make sure that it's kept down nice and tight. Just going to turn this way so I can see. Pull that down, tuck that in. Pull that down. Pull this from here. Make sure I'm holding this corner down and I'm pulling onto this to make sure that it's nice and tight. Oh, I don't like that fold here, so let me redo that and pull it down. Come in with my iron. And get that down nice and flat. Now I'm going to get this part, pull that a little bit, and just push with my iron. And 2 more corners to go. Fold that in, pull it nice and tight. And pull this corner. Oh, let me turn myself around so it's easier to grab. Okay, push that in and push this part in. Just pull it and use my iron and push up. Let me get some more heat on here. So the reason why this fold is this way and this one is that way is just the way I worked on the corners. I folded this piece in first and then the top. If I wanted them to both look the same, when I was working on this corner, then I would fold in this side in first and then the bottom fold that inwards. I don't care about it because you can't see it anyway, but if you care about it, then that's one thing to keep in mind. Like, let's do this the same. So I folded this part second. So I'm going to go in here, bring this down. Pull this nice and tight. So this got glued down a little bit. I'll just pull that up a little. Tuck this inside. And I'm going to fold this corner in first, and then this one. Get my iron over that. Okay, and get this side. And now this part here. So you will notice that there's no adhesive here. So this will come up if you, of course, peel it off. You can go in with a little bit of glue, add glue, or you can cut a piece of the adhesive, put that underneath and go over it. I don't do anything to it. I leave it alone because once I put my inside panels on, this all gets glued down. So it doesn't matter. So now we're going to flip it over and I'm going to go all around the edge to make sure that the edge of the junk journal cover, it's all bonded. The fabric is all bonded to the cover. Because remember, we didn't go all the way to the edge and I showed you that the edge wasn't bonded. But this will guarantee that everything is bonded. To be honest, even if you don't do this part, this stuff is unbelievable. It's so great that nothing would happen to it, but I just like to go over it. Okay, that looks great. I'm going to let it cool off for just a second. And there we go. Perfect every time. Thank you everyone for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, stay safe and love one another. Bye.